the options, and you're free to pick whatever you'd like. What is most important to me is that you don't look at the tools themselves, but more the strategy behind them. So like understand the logic behind how things should work, because these things change very fast. This presentation has been updated and updated and updated because the internet changes. So your goal should be think about things strategically, more about how you do it and less about the technical specificities of whatever. So Transmedia tools for scanning and transforming. Again, we're at this stage, we're right here at the very end. I'm hoping that some of these tools will help you figure out who else is out there in the playing field, so you can fill it in your environmental scan that we've studied a couple of hours ago. So I'm reminding you what happened last week. GoDaddy, the basic property, buying a domain. Wiggly to build a website. Wufoo for forms, and so on. Everybody remembers that?
GoDaddy, what is it?
GoDaddy is to buy a domain.
Ah.
Okay. Everybody remembers?
Yeah.
Weebly has its own form built in. Is there any advantage to using
It's
Weebly?
pro. You need to pay for the forms. And
No, I did it without it.
Try publish it.
I did.
Okay.
Come look.
I don't know. It might change.
Maybe
It might
they
have
changed
changed.
it.
I'll tell you why I prefer Wufoo. Okay. One, it's embeddable, not just inside Weebly. You can use it in anywhere. You can send it directly to Wufoo. Two, it has an interface where it summarizes results automatically. And three, it's exportable in Excel files. So the data never goes away.
That's
You own it.
nice.
Yeah.
This might be just a very basic form of it.
And it also can update you on cell phone. And if you've seen, Aaron should have shown you the integration between Wufoo and something like a MailChimp or HighRise to integrate. Did he?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So the big question is a venture a what or a why? Who thinks a venture is a what? Okay. Anybody else? Who thinks the venture is a why? And everybody else doesn't have an opinion.
Could it be?
No, I'm not sure what.
Why what?
Because at the end of the day, you got to do something.
Okay.
You got something out there.
Why?
Because you have to have a reason. You have to have an explanation, narrative, a story.
Okay.
And also it has a meaning.
Is a meaning. Okay. So I'll tell you what we teach. We always teach as a venture is first of all why. And here's the reason. Because people might not agree with your what. People might not agree with your means, the means that you take into the promised land, the way you walk in, the way whatever you're doing. If it's a website, if it's a magazine, somebody might think, oh, I don't need a magazine. You need to do, I don't know, educational stuff. You don't need a website. You need to have physical engagement with people and so on. But as long as they agree with your why, they will help you out. So maybe that specific person who doesn't think there needs to be a website but still cares about British jewelry will give you something else. Or maybe that specific person who, I don't know, who cares about involving Israelis and doesn't think it's a good idea to bring stuff from abroad, will still introduce you to interesting people and so on. So the more you talk about why and the less you talk about what, the more supporters you're going to have. Okay? So talk about why, then get to the what. For instance, when I was talking about my project, I always said I have a tool to connect Israeli Knesset with Israel. Sorry, I have a tool to connect Israelis with ideas about legislation to government officials. I'm doing it through a website. So first I'm doing the why, then I'm doing the what. And this is in general a way to talk about it. And there's an example here. This is a Starbucks in Saudi Arabia. What's strange about the Starbucks?
The logo.
Oh, wow.
There's no girl, mermaid.
Nice.
Wow, that was fast.
That was very fast. It was
That
much
really,
faster than
really
usual.
fast.
Okay, so the logo. Does anybody know the Starbucks
Starbucks
logo? There's a mermaid, her breasts are out.
She's supposed to be Queen Esther, I've heard.
Seriously, I heard
Yeah,
that was an anti-Semitic
That's like an
thing that
anti-Semitic
they were published.
conspiracy.
Sorry, it's good. It's Starbucks, it's a mermaid from the book, from Moby Dick.
Also, she doesn't have her breast out anymore. The logo
Yeah,
has
Yeah, it was a
Behind it with
logo.
the hair.
Yeah, it was a
But
logo.
it still does this. It still sort of signifies her.
The
Anyway, we
intimation
can
that
look
she
at the
might
logo.
have female parts.
Yes. Also, her hair is out, which is not okay in a Muslim country. And if you notice, it's like it's spilling to the store. I've never seen a Starbucks where you see how it's spilling out to the street. Starbucks usually the other way. You have to go in, find the counter, and so on. So if you think about what, then the format where Starbucks works, and this is it, and it doesn't change. If you think about the why, Starbucks is a place to have good coffee, to have good company, and you can change the what a bit and adapt it. You know Starbucks in Israel closed, by the way.
Yeah.
They didn't adapt. They opened, in 6 months they closed. My personal opinion, they have shitty coffee. Aroma has better coffee.
What?
And they're really expensive too. It's not espresso. Whatever Starbucks selling you is not espresso. It's but you can look at McDonald's, for instance. McDonald's got into Israel. It failed miserably. Miserably, like really. What they realized is Israelis have a different sense of flavor. A network. There was a chain here called Bulganch. It's still out there somewhere. That was much more popular for McDonald's in the first 2-3 years. Then what McDonald's did, they did two things. One, they switched the hamburgers from frying them like they do everywhere else in the world to cooking them on coal, which they do only in Israel and Argentina, what Burger King does, flame broiled. So that was one thing. The other thing is McDonald's used to sell big pictures of cheeseburgers just like it looks in America. They still sell cheeseburgers, but you'll never see it printed on any McDonald's advertisement.
Even in even in like for salad.
You can go in here right now and buy a cheeseburger. The McDonald's right out here. It's just
not
not on the
the
sign.
juice in the grocery.
What? Like when I remember when I was little, you had to ask McDonald's not to put cheese on your hamburger. Now you have to specifically ask for it. Like they changed just a bit, you know, because Israelis were like looking at it like ew, and going away and not buying it. So it's the small modifications that you make. That's for example is the what. You change the what, you may succeed more, but the why never changed. The restaurant, the place, and so on. So are we good on that? So it's all about establishing presence. Now, presence. Now we're talking about establishing presence through content. Now, what would you say is the most important content online?
Porn.
Porn. Wonderful. What else? What kind of content?
News.
News. What kind? Let's talk. Text, video, pictures, maps. Pictures.
Anything visual.
Videos. Okay. I don't think it's going to change in the near future, but the most important content is text, and here's why. When you look for a picture, how do you find it? To text. When you look for a video, how do you find it? Text is Googleable. Text is power. Everything comes back to text. Now, yes, pictures improve the quality of your website immensely, so the videos, eventually, for you to establish yourself as a presence online, the key element here is text and a well-written one. It helps you create a regular stream of content that's interesting to your market value. You know, this is very, very important. What do I mean? Who has here knows somebody who sells in network marketing? Like, I'll give you an example, like Herbalife, or you know what I'm talking about? The people who sell vitamins through networks, yes? Does anybody ring a bell? Dr. Nona? Yes? No? Who doesn't know what I'm talking about?
No, I know what you're talking about. I
Doesn't
don't know
know.
anybody.
Okay. So, would you share an experience with someone? Does anybody have a person like that on their Facebook?
Yes.
Yes. What does the Facebook feed look like?
Do you really want? I mean, it's constantly an ad advertising
Exactly.
the product.
By vitamins,
Vertical garden.
it's impossible to talk to these people because they can turn any conversation and any subject into the vitamins that they're selling or the magnets or whatever bullshit it is they're trying to battle. So your point is not to be that person. Whatever you do, a lot of time we think that because we're doing something important and it's for the community and it's Jewish and it's important, then it's fine. No, it's not. People don't want to see self-promotion all the time. No, it doesn't matter if you're selling puppies. I'm not going to read a blog that's all about puppies for a while. I'm not. Self-promotion is something that should be done in tight, limited quotas. We're going to talk about it. The key is to create content that is interesting to your market. What does that mean? Remember we talked about the target audience, right? So, who wants to give me an example for their target audience? Somebody who didn't try out yet.
High school students is my target market
High school students where?
in Israel.
In Israel. How old are they?
12 to 17.
12 to 17. Israeli. Are they secular or religious or both?
Both.
Okay, secular and religious. Jewish or Arab?
Both. Also.
Okay, secular. Okay. Good. What do high schoolers 12 to 17 in Israel care about? Now is the time to get bored.
Friends.
What?
Friends.
Friends? Okay, let's talk about more general topics that we can provide them information on.
Video games.
Video games, okay, what else? Justin Bieber, I don't know. What else?
Fashion, clothes.
Fashion, clothes, reality shows, whatever it is. So your point is to create a stream of content that is interesting to that group. Okay? What you do by that is you create a core group of like-minded people, a social capital, and then once you have that group, you can drip a bit of self-promotion. But if you only do self-promotion, that group of people is not going to gather around you. Your goal in internet presence is to establish that group of people that's listening to what you have to write, to what you have to say, and then provide content to them, and then do self-promotion just a bit. Are we clear what I mean? You understand? Okay. We're going to see some example of that. So we'll build a core group of like-minded. Blog is basically real estate. You can use it for advertising and connecting to others. Now, blogs, this is a classic blog. There's WordPress, there's Blogger, there's LiveJournal, which is more popular in some countries. Free platforms, it really takes like 5 minutes to build a blog. Few things to remember about blogs. Blog is the place for longer text. So this is a place where you give your thoughts, where you give information, where you post articles, and so on. You need to build it, like I said, for your target audience, not for yourself. And you have to combine it with short form, which is a microblog. Microblog can be Twitter, can be Facebook, can be Tumblr, and so on. So what you're doing by that, you're appealing to two levels. On one level, a basic level, a person can see what you're talking about and see if he cares about it. And then he chooses if he wants to click on to the next article, then he goes to the long form. Okay? This is the correct way to do it. So you do a long form which provides all the content that you're thinking about, and short form that links to it and gives people the choice to read or not to read. This way you're not boring, because some articles might be interesting, others might not be. And you're giving people the choice and the interactivity. Are we good on that? Now when I'm saying, now this is important, these are two formats that should not be confused. Don't post a page-long thing on Tumblr or on Facebook. Do you know how people write statuses like this on Facebook? No, that's what the Facebook notes are for. You write a note and you put a status that says, hey, this is my new note about, I don't know, puppies. If you'd like to click, you can read on about it and so on. So there are two, I know it's hard, you guys just came back from lunch. So two things, again, long form for deep thoughts, short form to connect, to give people the choice of whether they want to click or not. And now, does everybody know what Twitter is? Does anybody not know what Twitter is? Okay, cool. Who doesn't have Twitter? Wonderful. I personally, Israelis don't connect to it. I think it's useless in Israel. But Americans love it, and so do Russians for some reason, so it's good. So your key is to be active in the space and give value to your community. What do I mean by give value? Not selling, but rather giving value. So for instance, if you are, I want to try another venture. Remind me, Jews, Central Europe, what services are you providing?
It's a professional, it's a network for young Jewish professionals.
Network for young Jewish professionals, cool. So what services does a network usually provide? I'll give you an example. For instance, you hear about a cool course, right, that is for young Jewish professionals. Give it, put it out there. Let people read it, provide value. Don't sell yourself. Don't say, hey, we have courses. Say, hey, look, this is a cool course. It's part of the services that we provide, but provide value for free. Not selling, providing value. Now, providing value doesn't have to be like something that's worth money. It can be just knowledge. It can be, for instance, sometimes Presidents puts one of its lectures online on YouTube and just puts it on Facebook so people can just study by themselves. Or a piece of advice that you've learned, or a connection to a person and so on. It can be many, many different things. But the key is providing value, not selling. The next idea is, for every post you talk about yourself, you should provide value 8 times. Okay, do you understand what it says? This is the drip of sales that we're talking about. For every 8 posts that provide value to your reading audience, you can talk about yourself 1 time. This is Tony from Zappos. We're going to look at his Twitter as an example in a few moments. Facebook, of course, being interactive. I'm not even going to stop over it that much. Facebook has now the function of pages. Everybody knows that, right? You should not open a profile for your venture. You should only open a page. It's against Facebook rules to open profiles for
non-person.
anybody who's not a person. And it can get deleted and you lose all your information. Furthermore, pages allow you to track readership, which personal profiles do not. Just a second. I'm going to turn on. Can you?
Americans don't like connected.
Did someone turn the air conditioner off? That's what he's looking for. He's looking
It's
to
up
turn
to
it back on.
23.
Yeah, that's what he.
Yesterday, last time it was on 17.
What?
But the remote was in here, I
I'm
thought.
trying to do this.
I'm just gonna say the numbers for last time.
Anybody want some chocolate? Chocolate covered cornflakes?
Okay, where's the classroom remote?
Oh,
I know, I am
it
kind
has
of
to be
looking
down
at
the
it,
shelf,
but
top
Can
shelf.
somebody find me the remote?
Guys,
It's too hard.
we have
there
a
it is.
limitation of computers who can log on to the internet. I'm sorry, but we really need to work.
You want this?
So whoever doesn't need for something important, which has to be all of you right
Dać
now,
co co nam
please
się
log out of the
musi
internet. Ma?
Dać co co na internet נכון?
אפשר אף אחד לא יכול לעבוד פה.
אבל אני לא יכול לראות את הסדנה הזאת.
אז אתה, אין מה לעשות.
תקשיבי,
אני אין עושים אף אחד לא דבר.
No, it works.
תשאיר דוגמיות.
Okay, cool. Is it just that I want to see if it's on extreme fan? Fan on high?
Extreme fan. It goes bungee jumping.
I wanted to go bungee jumping.
Extreme.
God.
I think that's probably really cool.
Yes. You called?
I mean, it's a little bit
Yeah,
itchy.
it will be in a minute.
Okay. Wonderful. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm just
Don't even think about touching that.
cool. So let's talk about some successful Twitter pages and see what we can find. Okay. So the first example I want to show you is who knows who Cory Booker is?
Mayor of Newark.
Newark.
Mayor of Newark.
Yes. Okay.
He's
So
Mayor of Newark, New Jersey.
Newark, New Jersey. It's a really bad place.
That's where my family's from.
It's also a really bad place, you have to admit. It's like, and he's turning it around. He's been very successful, actually. So, just a second, I'm going to wait for my mouse to work. Sorry.
But good news.
Yeah.
Your driver device installed successfully.
That's great. Okay, so Cory Booker. Now he tweets quite a bit, quite a lot. It's actually he tweets a lot, and he got famous for the following thing. There was a big snow in New Jersey, and for some reason Americans are really excited about snow when it happens, and their houses get just snowed in, and nobody can.
It's so much fun.
Yes. So this lady is writing, my dad is stuck. My dad is stuck at home. He's snowed in. And Cory Booker sees it and he writes back, what's the address? I'm going to be there with a shovel. And she answers him. A couple of people on Twitter see it, sign up for that, and in an hour the mayor and 10 volunteers that randomly saw it on Twitter are cleaning her father's driveway with a shovel. Which is a really cool story. And he got like extensive media coverage for that. This is Time Magazine, the mayor of Twitter, and Blizzard superhero. And so on. Now, what this I think comes to teach us, Cory Booker gets edited for Shara logo, there it is. What? Was something?
I just read one of the quotes on there. Saw it first.
Anyway, so this is an example of Twitter and how useful it can be. Now, I think the best lesson here, you can see how many followers he has here. Over 1 million, is to be interactive. Which means if you have a decision about your venture, like, hey, I need to pick a logo, put it out there, put it on Facebook, put it on Twitter, give people a sense that you're communicating with them and that their voice has an influence on your actions. This is, I believe, the best example here. Another cool example, by the way, from this side is Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola has a really cool thing on Twitter. If you write something about Coca-Cola on Twitter, I can guarantee you that within a couple of hours they're going to write you back. In very different languages, by the way. You can see like the whole conversation and what. When it comes down to it, Coca-Cola has been there for me more than anybody I've ever known. Here's to my favorite beverage, and 9 hours, the answer again. Blah blah blah. In all different languages, by the way.
Some therapy.
Sweet dreams, there you go. Look, somebody wrote Coca-Cola good night or something like that, or last time I saw somebody saying, I'm going on a diet, no Coke for me for a month, and they message something like, hey, see you back in a month, we miss you. Something like to that sense. No matter what you write on Twitter about Coca-Cola, Coca-Cola is going to log in and answer. Trying to see. Anyway, so the key here is interactivity, replying, being prompt when people write something, reply, and so on. This, I think, is a very useful feed because it's really cool. Like Coca-Cola actually answers you in a couple of minutes. The next example is Tony from Zappos. Americans, what is Zappos?
Shoes.
But no, it's not just shoes. It's one of my favorite websites. Okay, so sit still. Alright, you get your shoes in less than 36 hours. It doesn't matter where you are. And somehow they all ship them out from this place in Shepherdsville, Kentucky. And wherever you are, 36 hours at most. And free shipping and returns within a year, no questions asked.
Like, so if you can try on your shoes, and if it's not your size, you ship it back, and so on.
You don't have to pay for any of it.
And they have good marketing on the boxes.
Mm-hmm.
And this guy, Tony Xie, or whatever, I can't...
CEO?
Yes, he's the CEO. No, Xie. He's Xie, whatever. He's a Vietnamese, I cannot read their names. This guy is basically a very famous both for being a director and both for marketing. Now, I want you to see something about his Twitter feed, okay? So let's see. The day before something is a breakthrough, it's a crazy idea. Breathtaking video of birds flocking. Our team came up with a riddle. One happiness, don't buy more stuff, go on vacation. Scientific study on how to get kids to eat more vegetables. A quote by Anne Frank. Live streaming the quarterly. If money doesn't make you happy, consider time. Whatever. Ashton Kutcher and Demi Moore. Seattle Tax Fox. Vision. Blah blah blah. How great entrepreneurs think. Zappos. So that's basically the 8-to-1 ratio that he's talking about. Now I want you to ask something else. What is in common between all the tweets that you see here? So we have birds flocking, the quote by Anne Frank, take vacation, you don't need more money.
Inspirational.
It's all about improving your experience.
Inspirational improvement, okay.
They have nothing to do with Zappos.
They have nothing to do with Zappos, what do they have to do with?
With feeling good about yourself, things that are interesting, hip, cool.
Okay, I want you to ask this. I want to ask you this. Who is the main customers of Zappos?
Women.
Women. Okay, that's true because women buy more shoes than men.
I think families also.
Okay, but mostly I think moms, right. Now, if they're buying shoes online, what can you tell me about these women?
They don't have a lot of time.
Or
They're
they
young.
don't have, what?
They're young.
Or
They don't have a lot of time.
they're at home. Right? This is what basically. If you think about this, how to get your kids to eat more vegetables, you really need a vacation. Like if you think about it,
Zappo gets you.
yeah, he's writing to stay-at-home moms. Really, like this is why it's self-improvement, stay-at-home moms who are cool and know how to use the internet. Now, it's not doesn't say it anywhere. Demi Kutcher and Ashton Moore. What else can I? Let's find something else. Physicists of the city. I'm trying to find like entrepreneurial spirit about creativity, optimism, street smarts, and other worlds, playing MacGyver, out for business, whatever. So he's writing for his target audience, and every now and then he sends out a little blip of Zappos stuff. And this, I think, is one of the best examples of blogging because people are not following him. You can see he has way more followers than Cory Booker. People probably more than Obama. People are not following him because he sells. People are following him because he has cool tweets. He gets this huge audience, and then they're captive, and he sells to them. And this, I think, is a very good example of writing to your base less than actually sort of writing about your product. Any questions about that? Guys? Okay, so let's go to the next thing. Okay, now how are you doing? And now this is an interesting thing, cloud. Who has heard of cloud? Okay, those of you who have heard, I'm sorry. Those of you who haven't. Now, when you talk about Facebook, it's very hard to measure your influence. Because if somebody, I'll give you an example. If you put a status, somebody likes it or shares it, you can measure it, right? You can see it and so on. What happens if I write about, say, shawarma today, and then in an hour, a friend of mine reads my post, doesn't comment, doesn't like, doesn't share, remembers to like shawarma and writes about shawarma too. You don't measure it, do you? Right? So Cloud has an algorithm that does it for you. What it does is it looks how influential you are on your followers and how many of them start talking about the themes that you have talked about after you. It's absolutely free. You log in through your Twitter or through your Facebook. I'm going to show you right now. You log into Cloud. Now there are several things here. First of all, you get a general score. And I'm going to, right? So first of all, it gives you a general score. It gives you your true reach. This is important. This is how many people actually read your post. Because remember, you have a list of friends that don't all necessarily read your post. Also, you can appear on the site, and other people who are not your friends may sometimes see your post.
How can they tell if it's being read or not, if it just comes up on their screen?
Because they see more like if the people comment and how many people, they have an algorithm to do that. I don't exactly know, but basically they have an algorithm to do that.
Commenting isn't the same as reading, right?
No.
Because if I go on my Facebook page, it'll come up, all these things will come, all these posts will come up. I don't know how they would ever track whether I read it or not.
Well,
if
first
I'm
of
not
all,
clicking on it.
they can, by the way. There's something that's called mouse tracking, and it's not very expensive either. Facebook uses it for sure. If you hover your mouse over something, Facebook says hot and cold areas.
Wow.
So,
Wait, oh really?
yeah, you can see if they're red or not. It's called a heat map. And you can see where people are hovering with their mouse. So yeah, or like freezing the page. If they stop scrolling and stopping to read, that also registers. So you don't have to click on something for the computer to know that you read it. Amplification is how much you influence people, the network, and so on. It gives you grades on their own scales. It also, I want to show you, says which topics, analyzes the topics you're influential about. You can see Cloud Style. It's basically a board that allows you to understand where you are compared to other people. So for instance, look, I'm here, right? I consistently post focused on several issues. I'm not, however, on broad amount of issues. If I want to become a more broad of a Facebook or Twitter poster, I need to post about different topics. So it sort of helps you orient yourself and see how you're doing and what you do. It also gives you feedback, because remember when we went to that page, you see how every day your Cloud score changes. So you know if you've done something right or something wrong, right? Or just the general trend. Another thing it helps you do is it lets you compare yourself to people. So let me give you an example. Okay. How do you spell his name? There it is. So I can compare myself, let's say, to Tony Schier from Zappos. Right? You can see his trends versus my trends, which topics he writes about, which topics I write about, and so on. So you can compare yourself to other people and other companies in your field. You
He's
can
not
also
that much higher than you.
What?
He's not that much higher than you.
I'm awesome.
Or maybe he's just not as cool.
Yeah. I think I'm awesome.
Just kidding. We do so.
Thank you. Let's see, Barack Obama.
Actually, Justin Bieber has.
By the way, it's really funny. Barack Obama has 86, and Barack Hussein Obama has 75. And Barack Obama in Arabic has 66. So it's fairly funny. And this is just racist.
What's the scope for the reference one?
What?
What's the scope?
Oh, this is Arabic Obama one. That's also not.
No, I think this is not. I think it's his
No,
Twitter.
it's
One
not.
is his Twitter and one is his Facebook. Oh, parody. It is parody. Okay. So, never
Well, the
mind.
fact that it says Hussein already indicates political connotation.
Not necessarily. It's his middle name.
I know, but when it's being used.
Oh, there it is. Okay, see 94. Which is pretty impressive. Anyway, so this is another way to measure your influence. Are we good on Cloud? Do you understand what it's for? Okay, great. So the next thing is, just a second. I mentioned how much I hate Windows. Usually have a Mac, it doesn't connect to this. Okay, the next thing is, and we've discussed this, is posturers. Who has heard of posturers? Yes, Aaron talked about it. I just want to revisit that thought. Okay, tell us what posturers does. What? You don't remember. Who does remember?
It's also a kind of a
What?
it's also a blog sort of
It's
thing.
not a blog. It lets you publish
And
to
you
a
can
variety of
publish
social
pictures
networks at
and-
Yeah.
once.
Right.
Oh.
So it's the thing where you can add your Flickr, your Facebook, your Twitter. You can post once and it just goes to all of them. Remember? Now, good thing about it,
Time saving.
time saving. Bad thing about it,
You're not communicating to different audiences.
Less control.
what else? Okay, if somebody subscribed to your Twitter and to your Facebook and to your Flickr, they're gonna get the same message 3 times, and it sucks.
Yeah.
So posters has to be used in a controlled way. If you have the opening event for your project, this is the time, right? If you're just wondering, I don't know, hey, what should we do next week in our weekly meeting? No, this is not the time for that. So just use it in a controlled fashion. It's very good for blasting out news in events. Other than that, I wouldn't use it as much. Okay, so this is the first part where we talked about where we talked about influence, where we talked about positioning ourselves. Remember, we talked about short and long blogs and how they should interact. We talked about being responsive, we talked about being interactive, we talked about writing for target audience and not writing about a product. Now I want to talk more about knowing the ecosystem. So just like how you don't blabber when you're in a crowded room and you don't know who you're staying, it's really important to figure out who else is in the virtual space with you. What are other people in your field doing? What's happening in the field to stay up to date? And this is very important for your environmental scan because you can figure out who else is out there, either doing the same value proposition or working for the same target audience and so on. Okay? The neat thing about online, you can spy pretty easily. I want to show you basically a couple of tools to do that and to follow over things. So the first one I want to show you is Google Blogs. Now Google Blogs is a way to find bloggers on a certain subject. It's at google.com/blog search. Google.com/blog search. And you can search blogs. Let's say, Emily, remind me your target audience.
Like post-college to early 30s.
Post-college artists.
Yeah.
Okay. So you just get in a blog, and you can see 3 ways to secure a job after art college, stuff like that. It's a cool article to read just for you so you know what to talk about. You can just look at
There's
it.
one about Emily.
Where? That is
Emily
White.
Hey.
Is that you?
I know an Emily White.
Okay, you know?
Was she
an
an
intern
intern?
at NPR?
How did Google know to look for an Emily?
They know everything.
They hear your thoughts.
So you can do, I know it's Hebrew, but you can do like last 10 minutes, last hour, last month, and so on. You can sort them by date, you can sort them by relevance, and so on. It's just a really useful tool to see who's writing on that subject. Now, who said they don't have Twitter? Okay, but you need to read Twitter. You need to read tweets from other people, and you don't know who is influential. For that, there's something that's called WeFollow. WeFollow.com. It's basically like Google Blogs for Twitter. If you do have a Twitter, you should add yourself. So for instance, you're interested in British Jews, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you search for that. Let's see. No, they didn't find me. Let's see. Britain, Judaism. Let's look for Judaism. Okay, let's just look for Judaism, for instance. Or okay, and you see most influential. So they measure who retweets the most and so on, right? You can find like various people. You can see the most followers, who has the most followers. It's just a very useful tool just to figure out who's out there on Twitter. You can also do it by location. So for instance, you can do just from London about Judaism and so on. Okay? It's a really cool tool. It's just basically a directory of Twitter, and you can choose the subject and see who's influential about it. Okay, are we good on WeFollow? Right. So next thing is, who here Googles their name? Does anybody know? Okay. How often do you do it? Every day? Okay.
I did every week.
So there's a tool called for it. It's called Google Alerts. Has anybody heard of that?
Yeah.
Yes. So Google Alerts helps you set an alert, I'm sorry it's in Hebrew, but trust me for it's in English as well, over any Google search, and it can send you new things that show up on regular intervals. So for instance, if I'm saying cartoon Kippah, and I want to make sure that whenever somebody writes about it, I'll get an update. So I can get an update, say, once a week, or either all results or just the best results and so on. There it is, you're in present tense, it's new. You put down your email, whatever, I'm just going to put down mine, and so on, and I say create an alert, and it's just going to send me an update whenever somebody writes something. It's just a very useful tool to save time. I would do one for your name, for your venture's name, and just do it once a week, just get all the news, and you can see if somebody talked about you or not. I'll be good with Google Alerts.
Yes.
Okay, next thing. Who here, when he wakes up, reads more than one homepage? Okay, what do you read?
New York Times, JPost, Ynet.
Okay, cool. So for that, there's something called RSS. Do you use RSS?
I don't, but I know it.
Okay. Who here used RSS? Okay, I'm going to. Who knows what RSS is? Okay. So I don't know if you know this, but all of your Google accounts have RSS built in inside Reader, and it's in Russian. Wonderful. I usually demonstrate it in Russian, so that's why. So basically, most pages, I'm just going to show you from your example, right? I wanted to subscribe to New York Times. You look for the RSS logo. The RSS logo is pink with is orange. With
It's usually at the top at the
it's usually at the bottom. See the orange with.
or the top.
Does everybody see this? See this logo? You click on that, and you can choose which you want to read. Do you read all of New York Times, or do you read a specific thing?
I like going through the page.
The what?
I like going through the homepage.
The homepage. Okay, so let's do homepage, the US, right? Basically, what you do is you copy. Or you know what? Let's do it the hard way. You click on it. You copy. Or you can just add it to Google directly. And you go to Google Reader. You click Add. This is what it's going to say. You add your address, and it's there. Now, every time that the homepage publishes something new, it's going to be in one place. Basically, it helps you build your own newspaper. So rather than visiting 3, 4, 5 sites every morning, you have everything there. Here's another use for it. If there are several blogs on the subject of your venture that you need to visit, let's say weekly, and you don't use RSS otherwise, just subscribe to those blogs. Once a week, log into Google Reader and see what's new. Just scroll through. If there's something interesting, click on it, and so on. It saves you the time of going to 5, 6 different pages and just scrolling through the whole thing. Are we good on that? Does everyone understand how to use it? Should I repeat? Copying and pasting an address into Google Reader? No. Great. Alright guys, you're really great. Either you really want to go home or you're really, really fast. I can't figure out which one is it.
Benefit of the doubt.
You'll
Yeah.
never know.
Okay.
It makes perfect sense.
Another thing I want to add is Hootsuite. I'm not going to visit it just because it's not really that useful in my opinion, but you should know it exists. It's called the Hootsuite. It's basically like an RSS reader for Twitter. You can sign up. What?
Why do you like Hootsuite over Tweetdeck?
I have no idea like I said, I don't use Twitter,
Okay.
honestly.
Oh.
I use Hootsuite sometimes. I do have a username there. It's just better. I think it's better organized. I haven't used with that. But
Okay.
again, there are many different alternatives to each one. So it helps you monitor various topics and so on. If you're a lot on Twitter, it really helps you out. It's a better interface than Twitter themselves have. The other thing I want to show you, okay, this part is creepy. This is basically spying online. So I don't know if you know this, I think I told you that before, but if you put something online, your presumption should be it's never getting erased, ever, ever, ever. Does everybody know that, right? If you want something to stay private, what do?
Don't put it online.
Exactly. So there's a site called gist.com, which what it does is it saves you the trouble of Googling someone. Let's say you go into a meeting and you want to Google someone. Instead of Googling them, they collect all the information from around the web and put it in a dossier for you. So let's say you get an email from somebody and you don't know exactly who it is, you can always just check it out. Or if you go to a meeting and you need to catch up on what that person wrote or did before the meeting, it's really easy to do it. It's scarily active. Okay, so it's scarily effective. Let's try Ariel, for instance, or Alon. You've met Alon, right? Alon. Alon's. Okay, so you have their email clearly, which you knew. It finds their Twitter. See, Alon has 2 Twitters, and I can find both of them. Commitify is one of our own startups. It has his MySpace, it has his Tumblr, Posterous, everything out there. It can give you the last emails. It can find photos online. It can find the most recent blog posts.
It gives emails that he's sent.
It's connected to your Gmail, so it's like you can view emails in your Gmail right from here.
Oh,
Just connect, yeah.
Emails from you.
This is how it just collects the names. It looks in your email, everybody who you emailed it just adds them. You can see the most recent tweets from him, blog mentions, media mentions, the whole shebang.
Is this a paid service?
No. Do we have a volunteer who would like to check out what their profile looks like? Yes. Cynthia? Like this?
Yeah. Furman, F-E-R-man.
Okay, let's add you. Cynthia Furman, email?
Cynthia.furman@gmail.com. I'm nervous.
I'm nervous today.
Look, it's nothing that's not available online,
Yeah.
right? Is that you?
Yep.
Is she going to be notified that
Is
you
that a
edit
Twitter?
Yep.
Is that your website?
Yep.
Awesome. See, these are your recent tweets. Oh, there are no
It's
recent
locked.
tweets. Oh, nice.
I'm on to you guys.
Oh, there you are.
It's me.
Yep, there's LinkedIn, there's Facebook, Georgetown, CCT, nice. Graduate courses. Did you know that you participated in farewell dinner? Like, it's interesting because you can see sort of what shows up. Students of Geneva 2009, theses and so on, Facebook, conferences, you name it. Okay? So this is all here online. This is just so you know, this is the portfolio on you. Anybody else would like to try?
Yeah,
Okay, Ken.
a deal with.
Adi Albe. Mm. No.
Aha, so,
It's not you. Okay.
Yeah.
Adi Albe. Email.
הרבה.עדי gmail.com.
צערי. Adi. There you are. Oh, you were on OI, כותרת, photos, exposing Gerald Stellenberg and NGO Monitor.
You don't like them?
No, no,
What?
no, it's me. No, it's
It's against you.
against me here.
Oh.
It's okay.
You work for MJ Monitor?
Hmm?
You work for them or you?
No, I cooperated.
They cooperated.
Have you worked at Makoli Sean?
And still,
Okay. See, basically, at the end, you'll give up.
this is not,
No.
it is not me, but it's
But the
kinda-
deal blade is fairly common. Basically, what it does, it finds all the recent things. It also works from companies. So, for instance, if I get an email from somebody who says, "Hey, you should go to," say, let's look at present tense, for instance, right? You can see all the articles that were written about present tense in the news. You can see different people that I know from their photos, from their website, mission statements, and so on.
The people of present tense, is that things that you put in or it shows up?
It shows up from my
Email.
from my email. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So basically, it really helps you track things, and it doesn't do anything that's not out there on Google. It just puts them in a convenient package and useful to track. Are we good on that?
Yes.
Okay. So, since we have some time left, I want to go a bit over. Okay. I want to go a bit over Facebook. I want to show you two things. So, most important things: have a conversation, talk to people, get to know them, build relationships, and collaborate. Don't compete, which is what we said earlier. Your goal should be as much collaboration as possible, as little competition as possible. 5 rules to live by. Be your brand's conscience. Don't do something your brand won't do. What does that mean? Okay, I'll give you an example. I work with Russian Jews. I work in Russia, right? I work with the JDC, helping them develop projects in Russia. On a personal level, Michael, I believe that all Jews should live in Israel, and they should all pack their bags and just move. Honestly. Truthfully. But it's the same thing. You guys actually, Americans should be the first in line, but we can talk about that. But it's my personal opinion, right? When I write something in my Facebook, my goal is for nobody who works with me in Russia to ever see that. Because it's not professional. It doesn't stand in line with the present tense brand, with what I do and so on. So what I do is I divide my Facebook list into a work list and a friends list. And nobody from Russia will ever see anything negative about that. Which is fine. It's not being hypocritical. It's just thinking about the brand and not doing something your brand doesn't do. What I would suggest, since you're just starting or you're already running with your ventures, what you should do right now, create a new Facebook list. Everybody who adds you following meetings you have during the Summer Institute, put them on that list. And you can just, I will show you in a moment how you can just control it, and posts that you don't want people to see should not go out to them. What?
No.
What?
Cynthia is concerned about other things.
No.
She's not here for the same reason.
Okay. Don't sell, share. Remember what we said about less selling, more sharing. Showing your human side, but not too much. Good example, I had the greatest meal at blah 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 restaurant, whatever. So good. That's a good thing. Bad thing. Oh my god, my girlfriend dumped me, I cried all weekend. That's a bad thing. Like, showing your human side is fine, but just not overshare. Remember, people are reading this. From work, I have this person who keeps like swearing in the worst ways possible in her Facebook status, and I don't think she realizes like people read it. Write well, no slang unless it's a tool. So if it's a tool to express a message or a quote or whatever, fine. Otherwise, don't do it. Commit, remember your audience, and this is very important. If you don't intend to update your blog at least once every 2-3 weeks, don't start a blog.
2-3 weeks.
What?
That's very generous.
Yeah,
I would feel like a week, once a week.
Well, I'm being realistic, okay? Some people, but the most you can go without post is 2-3 weeks. Because a blog that's abandoned creates more questions than a blog that doesn't exist. Because when you see a blog that's, the last post is like 4 months old, you're like, are they still active? Do they still exist? Did something happen? I'm not sure. It's better not to have a blog than not to update it, okay? This should be a key takeaway. Are we good about this?
Would you say it's the same with tweeting?
I would. It's just long text and short text. Tweeting and blogging should be going together like this. Like, tweeting is to create interest, blog is to provide more information for people who are interested. They should go
But if
together.
you're not going to be active with it, wait till you are before you.
Exactly. Exactly. You don't really need to have a Twitter. You can just do a Facebook, and you can open a Twitter that the Facebook automatically feeds into, and that's it. And just it will keep linking to your Facebook. And
Right.
Or just repost people, like go on like Tumblr, or because it's like a nice intermediary between a blog and a Twitter, and then you just repost things that you like via search features.
That's also true. But again, it takes effort. Some people don't want to commit to that effort. So again, it takes effort. If you want to have your presence, do it. If you don't want it, don't do it. But don't do it halfway. Either you do or you don't.
Or find people who can do it.
That's also true. Look, really, it's not that much time. If you give it an hour a week, it should be more than 5. I want to go for a second over Facebook. I want to show you something cool. So first of all, I want to show you my work list. Can anybody add me for a second in Facebook?
What's your
Michael Podbelezing. Just a second, I'm going to show you.
Michael.
There it is. Can somebody add me?
Yeah.
What's
Sergey Berezin.
What reason?
Do you know Sergey Berezin?
No.
I just added you.
Yeah.
Okay, you just added me?
Yeah, are you single? No.
Lovely.
Yeah, we know that one.
Where?
I don't know, I just just sent the friend request.
Don't say it.
You must have done
It takes
that
a
in the
little
past.
while.
No, I was pressing things.
Oh. How do you know Joey?
Oh, there it is. To friend request. Okay.
Yeah.
So, Adi, I'm right now going to put you in my work list. So,
Exactly.
once I click confirm, right, I already have a work list. I click on friends, show others, work. Millie is a specialist for one girl by herself. Yes.
She's either.
Yeah. She does not see anything. Anything at all.
That's I'm at work.
Yeah, I did. What? No.
Stuck at work.
Is it your sister or something like that? Your mom?
No.
Actually,
It's somebody who should not see anything at all and never see me online in chat ever.
Oh, she's a stalker.
Yes.
Okay.
You can also just like a one. Never
Why
mind.
don't you block her then? I mean,
Because then she will know that I blocked her. This way I'm just not available and never
But-
call.
It's so
Maybe
passive
people know
aggressive.
you
a
don't.
person that you don't.
Wait, what if she
whatever.
clicks on your
I don't
profile?
know. I have
She
different
doesn't see
policies.
that she's- Okay, so there's a cool
People
feature.
limit
friend her.
the profile they don't know.
Yeah, it's what I
You know
saw.
what I mean?
You
I know,
friend her.
right?
Why do you
So-
not people in your friends list?
Okay,
You
just a
know.
second. You can't unfriend crazy
Showing
people
you
without
the-
consequences. Just saying. Anyway, it's true. It's
But what happens if she clicks on your name?
she sees limited stuff. I'll show you, for example. Here, in the privacy settings, okay, you can see.
It's in your profile.
Oh, it's on your profile. Browse Facebook as. That's, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Oh, there it
Oh.
is. It's here. View as. There it is.
You as Miri.
Yes. So you can add, for instance, enter a friend's name. Now this is my profile. Just a second. I can view as. Let's see who's on my limited profile.
Oh, Miri.
Miri.
Sure.
No, I'm not adding Miri. I think. Miri will not see anything. I'm trying to think.
Let's see what Mary sees. Now we're
I have a bunch of campers. I have a bunch of campers that I'm going to add. Let's say Guy Ballet, I think, was a camper.
Oh, poor guy. All he wants to do is connect with you.
I always thought you were really cool. And now you
Okay, he doesn't see my photos, for instance.
Oh.
See? No photos.
Okay,
But
what,
they don't have-
what about like this person who's
They
like,
may think that you don't have one. Like I have most of my contacts in my safe list.
But what's going
They-
on with that
they
girl
can
with
see
that
that?
really bad?
They can see if they are in risk.
No, they don't.
No, no, no.
They think that maybe I don't have
Yeah, they think
anything.
you don't have anything. It's perfect.
No, they don't think that. And here's the problem, right?
Right,
So then I met a lot of people at the presidential conference,
right.
and I don't really know them. And they were like business networking connections, and I want to put them on, you know, a very private setting. But then there's like the social etiquette of like, oh well, she's blocking me for anything.
No, so what you do is once in a while, you write just for these people, for instance, hey, it's cool, I'm teaching a session. Okay, and you select,
No,
instead of
that's a lot of
selecting
work.
friends, just a second, you select Millie.
we're gonna meet this Miri and it's not gonna be good.
There she is.
She's kind of
And done. And she's the only one who will ever see that.
Yeah, but
Now
she,
she's just speaking to her.
She's gonna comment
No.
on it and be like, where?
no, but she will know. She will know.
She's gonna be like,
She's in a
what?
specific
She
group.
won't.
No, you see.
She know.
You see the icon. You see the icon. She knows she's in.
I
She
see
doesn't
it.
know.
I see it.
No, she see it. She will see
Go
it.
to my
first.
Facebook profile. Okay, you know what? I'll view my Facebook profile as you.
Okay, she
Just a
knows
second,
she's
just a
on
second.
privacy settings, and there's it's rude.
know
You as
People know.
Miri.
No, they don't.
Yes, they know.
You
don't
use
know
it
this.
for
They-
professional
I
relationships.
really want to
and
view this
Facebook-
Miri. I'm so
No,
curious what
you
But what
see.
about
People
the?
don't think about that.
No, people.
Michael,
well, I'm
Michael.
not thinking.
You see three logos. You have three logo of public. You have logo of friends.
I
And
think,
you have logo
I think
of
you
custom.
don't see it. You don't see what I posted as. See? There's no logo here. This is
I know.
my profile is viewed by you.
I know.
Right.
I know, but go.
I have
Go
wait.
downstairs.
You never see it. That's what I'm telling you. You don't see anything. Trust me.
Okay.
But there's social etiquettes that when people know they're being blocked.
But
They don't know.
No, they can think that you're not
Okay.
uploading. like,
Go to the
pictures
feeds.
or-
Go to the.
No.
okay, let's do it later. Trust me, I know it works. I'm telling you it
I mean,
works.
I
If you can
like
look at it
tag
later,
pictures
okay?
and things like that.
You can look at my profile now.
No, it's it.
People
So,
know they're being
like,
blocked.
people
Not
don't,
this one,
so you
yeah.
don't understand
Okay,
people go.
guys, back for a second. So this is one thing. Controlling your Facebook through lists, it's useful. Some people said in the past that you should have more than one Facebook profile, which is something people used to do. It always gets found. It's not. It's just not good. Like people, it's too much.
Yeah, and they're like, why do you have two profiles?
Yeah, what I
You
have the
know?
profile, blah blah blah. Just don't do it.
Why are you blocked?
The other thing I want to show you is ads. Okay, now ads in Facebook, many people don't use ads. I think it's a very very good tool for outreach, and it's really, really useful. Now, I'll tell you a story about how we used it in Moscow, and I want to show you how to do it. So we had in Moscow a problem. In Moscow, Jews don't write that they're Jewish on their profile. They don't.
I don't think I write that I'm Jewish on my profile.
You don't have a
Neither
religion?
do I.
I don't think so.
No,
Okay.
I don't
Yeah.
know.
Okay, I do, for instance. But like,
Well,
and many people don't, so when you're doing
Yeah,
outreach,
that's right.
well,
You're an Israel.
You're Israeli.
Yeah.
you know 20% of Israelis are Arab.
Oh, I know, but like in the U.S., it's more of like a, you don't really share your. There's a separation of church and state. You don't
Okay.
really share. Your,
So, just
okay.
I know most of my friends from America do write that they're Jewish, but whatever. Some people don't. So
It's
you
only
need
you
to
can
find,
see it.
you need to reach to these people. So what you do is you can do a targeted campaign by specific things. So let's do a new ad campaign. Okay, I'm going to ads. I just want to show you how to do this. This is a campaign. I want to start creating it. There it is. So let's say you advertise a page that you have or a website and so on. Let's say I want to advertise my Russia webpage. Okay? A new ad. I write whatever bullshit that I want to. Okay, so this is the useful part. You can narrow down it to people by city, country, and so on. So for instance, let's say I want people from Israel. What? Let's just use. No, let's use. Timo?
Tommy.
Tommy. Tommy. So you're looking for people from which countries?
Hungary, Serbia, Bosnia,
Hungary.
Bulgaria,
Just a sec.
Poland. Just anything from
Serbia.
the Iron Curtain
Right,
to
if we're
Russia,
going from like the Caspian
Bosnia.
Sea here to...
What else?
Poland.
Oh.
But Poland is in the Euro.
Bulgaria.
Okay. So you can see at the right hand side how the number of people that will see the Facebook ad is expanding. So, but we're gonna narrow it down for a second. What ages are these people?
1835.
18 to 30. Men and women, right?
Yeah. theoretically.
Okay. So precise interests. Now, for that, for instance, you need somebody with said Judaism, right? People who write Judaism.
It's in English though.
It gives you that. You can do it in whatever language you like. So Judaism. Now we need to find the Jews. What else? Would Jews who don't write Judaism? What else would they like?
In that region, Moshe House.
Moshe House. Cool.
Buddhism.
Moshe House.
I actually, yeah,
Second.
this isn't mine.
No.
Oh, it's mine.
Abrahamic religions. I bet they'd be totally into Abrahamic religions.
Moshe House. There it is. Cool. Moshe
Which
House.
is bagel.
What else?
Larry David.
You're joking, but it's not that fast. So Hillel,
Matzah.
right? We can say Hillel.
We don't have
Matzah.
Hillel in that part of the world.
Hillel. You can see how it narrows down automatically, right?
Yeah.
You can go, for instance, for Hebrew,
Doctors.
right? Hebrew.
Yeah.
Hebrew language.
Hebrews.
You can go for something I did in Russia. Everything is illuminated. People who
Right.
read
That,
that,
that, that is very
Yeah.
people who
cool.
read the book
Yeah.
probably are Jewish. So basically, what you're doing is you're creating a filter that lets your ad be seen exactly by the people you're looking for. Now, this can be done in any project. For parents, just for parents, you can narrow it down by children and so on, by location, everything else. I think this is the best form of advertising because you don't waste money showing your ad to people who are irrelevant, especially if it's geographically.
Mark Zuckerberg is so happy to hear you say that because he has been sucking wind on the Facebook.
Right, but whatever. It's like, you know,
Right now. Mark Zuckerberg is so happy.
look, if it's free for you, it's too good to be true, you know, Facebook being free for you. Like, you have to understand how they're earning money. This is how they're earning money on your back. Now, at the bottom, there are two options. You can pay either per click or CPM. And you can choose here, like my page, just a second, click on my ad of support. See, you can page either per clicks, how much do you pay people per click, or you can pay people per views. CPM is every 1,000 views cost you X amount of money. Okay? It's very useful, it's rather controlling, and it helps you really, really narrow down your criteria. Are we good?
What's in the average price for something like that?
It really depends on how narrowed down your audience is. If it's a very specific audience, the more specific it is, the more expensive it is. But usually it's like $2 for 1,000 views, which is not poor.
No, that's not.
I paid like 50 cents in Moscow, or 70 cents.
So the more specific, the more expensive.
The more specific, the more expensive. Are we good at that? Okay. So a recap. What have we talked about? We have talked about establishing presence and the importance of thinking about it strategically, writing for your target audience and not for yourself. We have talked about selling and not sharing. We have talked about being interactive. We have talked about not pushing yourself too much and being responsive. We have talked about various tools. If you remember, Google Blogs, WeFollow, which helps you find Twitter users, Google Alerts, which helps you track alerts, RSS Reader, the Google Reader that helps you keep track of the blogs and the website that you read often. We have also talked about Gist, which summarizes information that you can find online about different people. What else did I miss? Yes.
Oh, sorry. You want to
I'm done. Just a
Okay.
second. So now is the time for questions. Yes.
So on Gist, do you have to have the person's email in order to like find information about them?
Yes, it's better to have another person's email. It also, like I said, connects to your Gmail account.
Mm-hmm.
So what happens is automatically once you correspond with somebody, it just adds them to Gist and you don't have to work for it. You just find them.
And do they know if like you're researching them? All right.
It's the internet. Yes.
So for me, my venture exists like pretty much entirely in my head. It doesn't,
Right.
you know, it basically doesn't exist
Right.
for the most part. It's true. But so when should I start any of this? Like, should I start it now before there's any material?
You know,
Should
I think what can be cool, if you have the time for it, if you sure you're going to do it on a regular basis, start a blog about you developing your venture. It's really cool, and people tend to follow that, and you get buy-in in a very early stage. And you can also get valuable advice, like which logo should I pick, or how do you think I should do that? Remember, if we do it interactively, it can be a really good idea. Just get people here to like it, get your friends to like it, and you've created a base already. If you don't, however, want to write a blog about this right now, or tweet about this right now, keep it over to me. Just keep it. Okay. Wait till there's something more concrete. Other questions? By the way, Simi will retweet or put on the blog whatever you'd like her to. So you can be exposed on the President's blog. Yeah. Other questions? Okay, guys, you've been great. Thank you. Good luck.
What is the about the deliverable, the
Yes.
environmental scan deliverable? What's the? Is it next? When is it?
You should ask Sheila.
Okay.
I think it's Friday.
Friday.
Yeah, because like she said when it was today, she said it's not usually Sunday, it's usually Friday.
Okay. That's at least more doable.
Start
than
Googling.
the website.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, my friend.
Okay. Thank you, guys. Have a good day. Are you done, or do you have more? I'll call Shira. Let you guys read. Sheila. Sheila.
I'm finished.
You're finished.
Do we have something for today?
I think we're done.
I think
Because
that's
I
it.
have to run.
Wait, is there something else for today?
Wow, that was quick. What's the time?
3:40.
3:40?
And then-
No, that's
Yeah.
So basically we're done. I just want to hear how was it for you today? Was it good? Do you feel you need more time? תפח אבל אתה לא מביך אותי על מצלמה. לא, אתה.
לעשות זום?
אורה, האדום הזה הורג אותי.
Focus?
לא. Do you feel you need more time to practice the tools today for the session?
I feel like these are things that we can carry on doing like that.
Okay, because it's really important for us, like, just as I told you about the feedback, like, there's things we can, like, correct it from week to week, so it's really important for us to know. So I'm going to fix up the practice time for the next sessions for this week if you don't need Sababa. But we're still going to have practice. We're going to have practice from now on every week, like, something specific that you like.